What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Cloud Slayer channel. Hope you guys are doing well. Today is November 28th, 2023. And as usual, we have another ramble. Whether it gets posted or not, that is what it is, right? I'm still recording it. I'm doing whatever I need to do and stuff like that. So, what I don't, like I said, mentioned in past ones, I don't always post them. Sometimes I just keep them and, listen back to them and stuff like that, right? So it kind of sucks, right? But at the same time, it's like I do. It's not because I don't want to post them because of certain things, It's just that sometimes you run out of things to say, right? You run out of things, and you try to go from there, but then you just thought process goes, but what I did record was probably was pretty good, and sometimes it's very personal and it's like seems like really depressing, right? So it's like I'm not gonna post that, right? Just I'll leave that to myself, and that's just something to reflect on. And it seems like a giant bitch fest, right? And it's like, sure, it's it's good to complain about stuff that affects you personally and stuff like that. Not complain, but get it off your chest and stuff like that. But there comes a point where it just becomes a big ball of negativity, and it just gets you, thinking in the wrong direction sometimes, and it's not as productive and stuff like that. And we all have those moments, like letting those things get to us, letting those things pull us back, and things like that. And what do they say? People are like, certain things are living rent free in your mind. That's the only way I can explain. Describe it, I guess. And it is what it is. You gotta offload those things so it doesn't sit there and play over and over in your mind and bug you. That's probably one of the biggest things for some people, that they drive themselves crazy just thinking about those things over and over and over again. Let them go. There's nothing you can do about it now besides try to let it go. And it always reminds me of my Uncle Mark when he would tell me when I was a young man, right before I reached adolescence, that the world, or no matter how much the world will beat you up, the world will never beat you up the way you can beat your own ass. He would always say that the world's a tough place, but in our minds we're constantly beating ourselves up too, like negative and stuff like that. So that's one reason why you should try to be positive to other people. You just absolutely never know what they're going through, what they're thinking, and how they view themselves. And I was watching this video on X. They were having an argument over like snow and stuff like that, like shoveling snow. And one guy's just talking shit, "Don't break your jaw, blah blah blah," and then the guy comes. He's like, he just comes back with a gun and just kills them, shoots them both. The husband and the wife, right in broad daylight while everybody's shoveling and other people are around and stuff. And he's like, "Who's a pussy now?" and all this stuff. And it's like, that's crazy, man. The dude just snapped, and you don't know where that limit's at. You don't know where they're at psychologically. You don't know what they were going through for who knows how long. You can only guess. Some people could put up with things for a long time before they snap, and some people they can't. They can't handle it and stuff like that. And like, who tries to handle it? Not many people, because they might rely on alcohol, they might rely on drugs, stuff like that, things that alter their mind. And I mean, in some cases, I think for THC, it could be therapeutic, but it can also be an inhibitor. It can also be something that it doesn't help you at all because you're using it as a crutch. It's different when you're used doing it to help you, but if it's not serving you any good and it's prohibiting you from doing anything, then there's no point in taking it, right? There's no point in doing it. And there's other people where they're constantly like, I want to get better, I got to do it for my family, but then they're scared. They're scared to do anything. They're scared to not necessarily fail, but well, it is failure, like they don't know. Like, I want to go work out and I want to lose weight and I want to stop drinking pop or something, you know what I mean? And they get in their head and they think too much about it. They think too much about it. That's what I think. That's one of the things that always stopped me a lot of times from doing stuff, is because I was thinking about it too much and how much work that is or whatever. And I would just, get discouraged. I'd get discouraged. I'd be in my head thinking negatively, and it would affect me, and it would make me not do those things. It would, it exhausts you without doing a thing, because you're in your head, you're doing it, right? And stuff like that. It's one of those things where you just got to go out and do it and stop. Like, if you want to lose weight, you got to do what you can to do it. Don't think about it. The less you think about it and the more you keep yourself busy, the more of a chance that you have at that thing happening, and planning about it and stuff like that. I mean, it's a fine line, right? Planning it, like certain meals or something, or just not eating in general, or you increased your physical activity levels, you're starting to stretch and stuff like that. You turn it into a game for your family or whatever, it's a challenge. It's going to always be a challenge when it's something that has to change inside of you, outside of you, or that don't sound right, but anytime something has to differ with you, then it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be something that you are afraid to do, or not afraid to do, but how do you say that? You got to strive for, you're gonna have to work for, So it just, with everyday challenges, don't be afraid to just go work out, go do something with your family, So it's, I don't know. I stated this too, that I always had like a bigger weight problem, and then I'd slim down and then I'd gain it back and stuff like that. And this last time, because I ballooned up to 293, and I'm sitting about 265 now, so a little down, but it's been a while. And before that, like right before I got to 290, I was 100 pounds less, so I was down to 193 pounds, and that was the smallest I've been since middle school at that time. And I was like 14 the last time before that I was below 200 pounds, I was a big guy, big kid. 205 is probably about where I'm most optimal at, for my height and for my weight. For that, for me to play sports like basketball and stuff like that. And I don't know. I just felt too weak when I'm like 190 pounds, It just, I don't know. I just don't, it feels like I was still starving myself, and whatever. So 205 was probably about, I'd say that's where my goal is going to be at. So I got to lose 60 pounds, but that's going to take a while. I have to get myself right, get my mind back into it. And, like I'm lifting weights and stuff, and that's also hard too. Like if you're trying to bench press or whatever, because, you're going to lose gains, and it could get rid of some confidence too, but overall it'll be good for you. It'll be better for you than walking around and being a heavy breather or something, because being that heavy isn't really good for you. Like I was 293 there, and I was having the damnedest time breathing, just walking around, Like I could walk around 20,000 steps or something, up to 30, I think most I've ever walked in today was like 35 to like about 40, maybe 40. I can't remember. It's been a while since I hit that mark, but sometimes I'll hit 30Ks, 30,000 steps sometimes. I more average around 19 to 20,000 steps a day. So, and I think all last year that's what it was, like 19, 20,000. So, that goes to show for what they say too. Like, you can't outwork a bad diet. And I say that a lot because I am one of those people that try to outwork it, but never can. Jelly rolls and beefy guy and stuff like that. So it just it comes down to self-control, and a lot of people, they can't do it. I'm one of those people that have a hard time, like, with most things in my life. I have to cut that thing. I got to cut those things almost cold turkey, and it's not, like I say, it's this, anything that I ever say is not, if it's not for you and it doesn't work for you, don't do it. You got to find your way. You got to, when you're learning how to do these things with like self-control, not eating those bad shit for you, it's going to come down to how you react to it, how your body is, and what makes you feel the best, not how it makes me feel. So that's one thing that a lot of people need to keep in mind when they follow these health gurus or these motherfuckers trying to sell pills that'll make you lose a lot of weight or whatever. At the end of the day, it's still going to take some work from you. It's going to take your valiant effort to have some kind of self-control at the end of the day, and maybe dedicate some time to, going to the gym, or you don't even have to go to the gym. You work out at home, dude. There's a lot of at-home workouts, You can do push-ups, sit-ups, bunch of shit, man. When I don't feel like working out inside the gym, I'm doing squats in the living room watching TV or something, and hip thrust, just put my back onto where the chairs are, and then I'll just do a bunch of hip thrusts continually while watching TV. Sometimes I forget, and I didn't, and I don't know how many reps went by, but I'm feeling the burn really bad, right? And I'm like, holy crap, like, oh, that feels good. And I'm like, dude, this is good. I like that. Sometimes when you lose yourself and you're not counting, and that's when you get the best results, I think, and some of like the best burns, what is that? The mind-muscle connection and stuff like that. So don't be afraid to get lost into the actions that you're doing. It is what it is. I think on that note too, like, I want to talk about, because it's been coming out a lot recently that like a lot of bodybuilders and like people that go to the gym, they smoke weed and stuff like that before they work out. I have an admission to make that I also, like, I used to smoke a lot before working out, right? Because it would help me forget. It would help me focus. And a lot of times, like, when I had to do like high rep days, I wouldn't be counting. I just wouldn't be counting. I'd just be worried about the muscles moving, and I wouldn't be counting. And my buddy would be like, hey, you had that many reps or something. Like, if I worked out with a buddy, I was like, oh shit, that's PR, I didn't even know. It was just, I was going off the squeeze of the muscle and stuff like that, as opposed to counting the numbers, because the numbers always get me. Like, you're just thinking about, oh my God, I'm getting close to it, and then you're like thinking about it, and then you're tiring yourself out thinking about it, and you're like, because I was exhausted last time, and instead of just worrying about where you were at the time, and just worried about the squeeze, or how you actually feel instead of how you think you should feel, because you're thinking about some number. So, and I don't know, it's also, weed's an anti-inflammatory, and it's a bunch of different things that can help. So I think, and that's not a thing to say that go smoke a bunch of weed and go work out, I'm not saying that. Be responsible, uh, maybe like a microdose. But you got to realize you can get hurt, you know? Anytime you lift something heavy, you got the chance to tear muscles. You got a chance to drop the weight. You got a chance to, do all these things. So you got to make sure you're with somebody or somebody's nearby, or you're not at a weight where you have to worry about, stuff like that. Because even if you're sober, man, those accidents, they happen. It could be on a weight that ain't even like 60% of your max. And that's just how muscles are, man. You made a wrong jerk, and bam, fucking pectoral muscle rips right off you, right off the bone. And then all of a sudden you need surgery, and then you're like, oh man, will coming back to working out ever be worth it again? A lot of people know, but other people it might be. So it helps clear your mind. That's one of the big benefits of working out. You don't have to lift weights. You can go walking, you can go running, you can go beat up the bag. Sometimes I just sit there and beat the shit out of the bags, practice moves, the 1-2, straight right, overhand left, and then right hook or something, practice head, body, head, and stuff like that. And, because I don't know, I've come across quite a few situations where, I almost had to fight some people. So it's like now, I have to do these things just in case, it does happen. And especially if I'm out there with my family, anything can happen. But the other thing is, like, somebody could just pull out a knife. It doesn't matter how much bag training you got, if you're not, somebody pulls out a knife, it's a different story. Somebody pulls out a gun, different story, you might be dead, It could be like that guy that killed that husband and wife over fucking snow, over a petty argument, 1 second you're talking shit, next second that person pulls out a gun for no good reason, just because they snapped, just because whatever's going on in their head, it lets it go. So the world's crazy, right? It's crazy. We have people that are diehard religious people, and we have people that are just normal people like you and I who one day snap, So it's just a lot of things you got to take into factor, and be careful out there. So with that, I think I'm going to conclude this. I hope you guys have a great one. I hope you enjoyed this ramble, and as always, have a great week. Peace, guys.